Lori with Goodbye Good Girl Project and Next Level Empowerment. Let's try it one more time. I know I said after 3 tries with it dropping off that I would just go do my laundry, but I'm a persevering sort of cuss, so can't you just I just have to. Um, I just saw a card that fell out of an oracle deck that I have right here. And by the way, please feel free to comment, talk to me, ask any questions as I go along. Um, I want to come be a voice of some calming presence to you and also some visionary look into what we can start building now for as this insane regime and all of this really frightening crap comes to an end because it will. And if it doesn't come to an end tomorrow, which we know it won't come to an end tomorrow, or at least we're pretty sure about that, right? Um, then at least we have the emotional wherewithal to deal with this and to not lose our power, not to lose our sense of where we can find calm, where we can find certainty. Now, all of the externals have been are in the process of being removed from us, and so I want to give you a totally different way of looking at what's happening, so that you at least feel like there's a point to this. There's not just holy crap, these crazy people decided to vote for this man, and also, by the way, this man hampered voting. There was massive voter suppression. This is what do they call it? Entertainment purposes only. Um, and so we're not just stuck in God, insert curse word here, that we just can't deal with this and we're just angry all the time. There's a problem with that. There's no problem with anger. There's a problem with not using it for something that's going to move us forward. Anyway, I'm sitting here doing this hoping that this doesn't break down. This has gone bust on me 3 times this morning. I'm trying for the 4th time, and I promised myself that if it doesn't work this time, I'm out of here. I'm going to the laundromat. All right. I like going to the laundromat. I can be not at home, and I can take my computer and do my cool stuff there. It's like, hey, no problem. All right. So I have some cards. I have some really cool oracle cards as well. I find that symbology is incredible. It gets deeper than our brain, deeper than our known thoughts, deeper than our expectations, and that's really important because we've all had things happen that we didn't ask them to happen. We couldn't possibly have make them happen that way. Like, for instance, I want a job. I want a really great job. Okay. And then you get a job. Well, I mean, these days that's not a given, I know, but let's just go with the example. So you get a job, you get this amazing job, and then you go, how did that happen? Like, I know the effort I put in. I know that I filled out the application, and I know I had to do the resume, and I had to do this, and I had to do that, and I went to the interview, and we know all of that. But what you also have got to know, unless you're a lunatic, is that you didn't, with this mind, go behind the scenes and before it all happened, said to those people, listen, in about a month, I'm going to need a job. And you're going to have to like come and deal and tell me, and give me that job. Okay. Like, you didn't set it up that way, but you know what did? Your energy set it up that way. Your energy. Now, people call it God. They call it the universe. They call it spirit. And we are such energetic beings, and the energy is the most powerful thing that we actually have. The most powerful thing we have for transformation, even of this crazy crap that's going on in our world, in our country specifically, in the US, is our energy. And the energy, where's the energy come from? Like, do I have any power over this? What the heck? I don't have any power over this. Yeah, you actually do. That's part of this great awakening that I want to share with you. It's stunning. I mean, I couldn't say this stuff to you just from a place of belief. I actually do experience this on a daily basis, and it's like it's crazy. It's crazy because we've been taught over the millennia to believe that we have no power. We've been taught that, I can only do what I can do with my physical body. That's what we've been taught. I can only do what's done with my physical body, and also I can't. There's a whole deep level of I can't in our psyches, in our expectations. I can't change things. I can't even change things in my own life. And we try to change them with our physicality, right? We try to change where we live, what kind of work we have, what kind of partner we attract. Um, See the word attract. It's all about the fact that we can't really do it all with our body, and we don't really do it all with our body. But up to this point, the majority of the human race has been doing our effort from only the physical. Now you say, well, I know I've been praying. Prayer, if done with a higher energy, is good in that when you quicken energy, you are letting in more of a lighter energy, you are letting in more of a positive, a forward focused sort of energy. So yes, if you are somebody who prays and you pray in a way that gives you that sense of you're being lifted, now you're helping lift all boats. If you're praying in that way that says, oh dear God, I'm powerless, and I need you to rescue me, and you are feeling as though you have no ability, like that there's nothing but no hope, and that you can't do anything, you're missing your power. You are leave It's like leaving money on the table, right? You are leaving your energetic emotional power on the table. And energetics, thought waves, sound waves, emotion waves are so powerful. And of course, they go through walls, they walk through walls, right? They Sound waves, emotion waves, thought waves, this is not confined to your physical body. It goes out into the world. It goes out into your life. It goes out into your life. It lays the what's the word? I can see it in my head, but I can't find the word for it. But it lays the path. It lays the path ahead. Okay, that you can seed, you can seed, SEED, your future with your energy. And I've done it, and I do it, and I practice it, and it works. And this is the kind of thing you'll hear a lot in spiritual stuff. You'll hear it. You just hear a lot in like if you watch the wonderful, amazing podcast Next Level Soul, you'll hear a lot about ideas that are very much outside of the body only way of affecting things, right? So if you've ever been to a psychic, or if you've ever been to a tarot reader who seems very insightful, they're they're not just going from their physical body. They're going from the totality of who they are, because the totality of who we really are, which is what we are, on an energetic level being asked to awaken to, is we are energy. And, I mean, this is one kind of energy, right? This is kind of slower moving, and when we're in it, we see this. Like I can see you, you can see me, that kind of thing. Like we can touch things. Like this is physical, and this is physical. I can touch that. But there's a limitation to what I can do with my body. At some point I have to lie down and go to sleep. I can't be out there 24/7 making life do what I want it to do, changing what's going on in our country with my physical body. I mean, that's just fact, physical fact. So what do we do? Well, I've searched on this, and I've lived this, and I've realized and realized in that real word, the real meaning of that word, that when I shift by 1%, it has to be small. It has to be small. That should be reassuring, but I don't know if it is. So anyway, um, Tamla, hey, thank you for being here. Return to sender. All negative energy, witchcraft, blah blah blah. Uh, Karma, rest in peace. Here, let me pull an oracle card for you, hon. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me pull a card out of here for you. Taking care of myself is a radical act of love. Yes, thank you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, who is yourself? Yourself is not just your body. It's not just your body. It's your energy. So, if we want to look at this, like just for a second, go with me here. We want to look at everything that's happening, and we don't want to sit in the energy of hopelessness and helplessness. I can tell you from experience, having done that with clinical depression, that it sucks. You don't want to do it. You just don't want to. It hampers your life. It hampers your opportunities. It hampers your vision. Um, even literally your vision. Like if you're depressed, if you are somebody who's depressed right now, try this. Open your eyes really wide, and you will suddenly see that there were all these parts of just your environment, your apartment, your house, the yard you're in, whatever, that you were like, oh my God, I didn't even notice that was there. So energy is super, super important, and you have to absolutely get into a slightly better energy. And it has to be slight. It has to be a little bit. Okay, but why are we doing this? Why are we playing this game? You're not only changing your life, the more of us who awaken, well, there's two things. The more of us who awaken to knowing that we actually can shift our way of being and thereby change our life. Do things like suddenly I'm not crippled by depression, not crippled by hopelessness and helplessness. Suddenly I'm extremely creative and I'm capable and I'm hearty and I'm able to bring peace to my nervous system in the middle of all this crap. That's important because we need this as well as we need people taking to the streets and marching and doing all the things that we're doing. This is the behind the scenes part of doing our work for each other and with each other. Number two, that energy that you are inching up, just inching up that emotional scale, it is not limited to you and your apartment. It's not limited to your body. That energy goes out into the world because what we're seeing now, what is happening now, is that soup of all of our emotions together. Plus, if you look at what's happening astrologically, we have apparently it's insane. I know very little about astrology so far, but what I am hearing from the experts is that it's unparalleled. Now, one thing that I love to mention because I find it fascinating is that the planets that have been in the sky since like November are the same planets and in relation to each other as they were during the French and English revolutions. Isn't that astonishing? So, should we be surprised on an energetic level that this is all happening this way? Nah, I don't think so. So, it's easy to feel like there's no help and that why is this happening? There's no purpose. There is a purpose. We are in the time of the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening. Um, and the Great Awake. So, what the heck is it? What are we awakening to? I mean, we've got all of this stuff going on. We've got AI and we've got internet. We've got this stuff that I'm doing right now. We've got, what else could we possibly need? We need us. Is that the police? Yeah, they're wandering around. All right. Interesting time of the day. Um, so here we need to come in. We need to come inside. And if you feel frustrated by that, let me tell you, I get it. Because I know that for years and 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 years, I was like, what does that mean? And I tried meditation and I stunk at it. I wasn't good at it. It didn't work for me in that way. And like sometimes but I still loved being in silence. And if I would be in a room with other meditators, it might be nice to feel the peace, but it didn't make me necessarily peaceful, except for one extraordinary time. I had this one time I was sitting with Amici, the great hugging saint, and I got sort of dipped into complete silence. And I could see internally, I could see my thoughts like ticker tape going across up here like birds. I remember I felt like they were birds, but I didn't have to pay any attention to them. I could just feel my expansion and the incredible limitless peace. Now, if that were my meditation, I'd do it every single day, 5 times a day. I'd be there. Trust me. But I couldn't figure out how can I make that happen because I didn't make it happen the first time. It didn't. I got in line to go get my hug from the great hugging saint Amici, and I was just dropped into this beautiful bottomless well of peace, quiet. It's amazing. Our real power, our real power, is our energy, and we don't know that. And the reason that we don't know that, or at least we don't know it in a practical way that will allow us to actually be the masters and mistresses of our energy and create it in ways that are real, not just pretending, not the Pollyanna thing. The reason we don't know it is that since the dawn of humanness, we have been told by people who wanted control. I'm not going to call it power. There's a difference between real power and control. And we've had people throughout the ages who have control. We've got a whole bunch of these people now, right? There's a difference. So we had all these people, and we always have had these people in control who say, you can't do something unless I tell you you can. And that includes divinity, that includes spirituality, that includes that, because you can't listen to what the great master said. You can't listen to those things that I've done. You too will do, and more. You can't listen. That's just something he said. That's just something he said. It's not real. You can't do stuff like that because you need the church. You need the system. So we've believed it. We've believed it. And we've been given so many punishing thoughts like, oh my God, if you don't think this way, you're going to hell. You are, all the spiritual things, whatever. I don't have them. I'm not Christian, but I have Christian friends who are like, oh my God, this stuff, and Catholic people I know who were like, none of it made sense. It was like two separate messages, like, there's a God of love and God's going to kill you. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Um, and yet we've just been indoctrinated into this helplessness thing. Now, for women, we have gotten always, I don't care what color woman you are, we've always gotten the bottom of the damn barrel, and it's still freaking happening. And so the Dalai Lama said that Western women will save the world. I like that. That sounds great. How? How? Right? Because I like practicality. I like practicality. So when spirituality came zooming into my life in the form of Amici, the hugging saint, and she took me in her arms, and I felt, this was in 1988, and I felt that, oh, holy God, like this, like I am her, she is me, this is reality, that the divinity is real. Like this incredibly amazing high energy is real, and it's embodied in this lady, and I feel my oneness with her. I'm not insane. I'm not going, I'm actually her. But that oneness, I went, it changed the trajectory of my life. Now, I heard people say, yes, when you meet Amma, it changes your life. Well, my life still sucked. My life still sucked. I still had depression. I still had anxiety. I still didn't have a direction. I still was like, I was a mess for decades after that. And I've been with her. I've seen her almost every year except for during COVID, and last year it got messed up. But if she comes back this year, I'm there. It's so good to be reminded of one's own oneness with one's own spirit. But during all those years, I was still a mess. And so my question was, if I've got God in my life, because for a very, very long time, I was like, she's God. She's God. That's God. That's what God is. She is. And so I was like, well, if God is in my life, then how come I'm a freaking mess? What is going on? And I'm not alone in this. There are so many people, so many of us who are like, look, I I get that there is only oneness, and I get that we are one with the divine, and I get, like I get all of these spiritual messages. I really resonate with them, and I know them to be true, and it's just right. And I've experienced it one time now and again, and I've had amazing things that have happened, but I can't keep it. I can't turn it on like a damn light switch. What is going on? Why can't I do this? And that's a freaking beautiful question. I want you to be asking that, not from a place, though, of why am I so deformed and flawed that I can't make it? That, think about it. That is part of the I don't have the power paradigm. That's the old paradigm that we are being shaken out of energetically right now. Or we're being, at least, yeah, we're being shaken. But we also, there's an open door. Do we want to walk through? Do we want to dare to challenge all of those things that we have believed without even thinking about them forever, for our whole lives? Yeah, yes. There's an old my spirit's telling me that there's an old thing that I heard about spirituality, that, and I don't remember who said it. So if you know, put it in the chat. Who said, when you awaken, you suddenly real, meaning when you're enlightened, when there is no more insanity, like there's no more thinking that humanness is all there is, and you just go, oh, I get it. This is hilarious. This is like a game. Okay. That when you awaken, you find that you've been knocking on the door from the inside. I love that. I remember that because back when I heard it, I was like, ooh, not that I knew what it really meant in an experiential way, but I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And so I've been on a very, very long journey of 35 years of answering the question, how do I embody and live the spiritual tenets that I have either experienced now and again, or that sound like they're right. They sound true to me. And how do I live them in a way that's not pushing aside my humanness? How do I bring these parts of me into knitted union? And so I've been on that for a very, very long time. And the the answer that I've come up with, the answer that has been born through my experience, my physical, emotional, mental, spiritual experience, is it's our energy, and that our energy comes from our human emotions. It comes from our human emotions and how they vibrate through our bodies. All right. We are energy beacons, always doing this, right? We're always doing that. So, what we have is energetic set points. What does that mean? That means that when I was in decades of clinical depression, my basic resting place was an unquestioned certainty, and I couldn't see this. So it's not like I was going, I prefer to be depressed. But it was an unquestioned set point of there is no hope. I have no power. I have no power to change things. And you can look at all of that kind of a thing from what happened in my childhood, what happened in my adulthood, how have I been traumatized, what made me believe this. And that's really helpful at certain points along the journey. At some point, we do get to the place where we go, now that I know, what do I do with that knowledge? It hasn't healed me. It's given me a place of relative peace because now I know what happened, but it hasn't transformed my experience, right? And what we have innately, and it's being talked about all over the internet. Go look for Next Level Soul podcast. listen to this podcast. I have a podcast for Goodbye Good Girl, and these lives. Come to this, subscribe to my channels, please. It helps me and it helps keep me visible in a time that we're in. You will find that there is this expansion going on where we're coming to understand that we are not only human. So if you find yourself saying, oh, I'm only human, catch yourself and tell yourself that's actually not true. There's a man out there, I can't think of his name right now, but his thing, I always go by his ads and stuff on his little ads on Facebook and stuff. And he's always going, we think that our soul is in our body, but that's actually not true. He is 150% correct. We are actually a lower energy, the physicality, we are a lower energy living inside of a limitlessly expansive energy, lighter energy, faster energy. I like to think of it this way. I think this is a really cool imagery. So let's say I go, oh, I'm really in this open bubble. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but like this open sort of like shimmering sort of bubble, not really enclosed, but this is my real energy. This is me. This is my higher self. That's my higher self. And I am within that. And that's where my intuitive hits come from because, and I'm quoting a little bit from Bashar, Bashar. If you've never listened to his stuff, you can find him on YouTube. But he talks about it in this way that we are sort of down here. We're on a lower energy frequency in the human, focused on the human body, and we can only see so far. So it's as if you're standing in the middle of town and you're looking straight ahead. You really can't see outside the city. You can see down the street. But our higher self is standing on top of the frickin' mountain, going, I can see thousands of miles down the road. So I can give you a what's up. I can give you a heads up. I can give you a don't do that. I can give you a quick run. Like I can, right? That makes sense to me because he says, and I love this one too, your mind has never in its life, not once, has your brain, never once has your brain come up with an idea in its life. Not once. No, what? Say what now? Here's the idea. It is your energy. It is your expansive connection with your spirit that gives you these flashes of intuition. It doesn't give it like a God, like we have been told that it's given by God. I will give it to you now, but not now. It's not like it's not a control thing. It's when you are just open, when you are just going, I'm not demanding that things be the way I want them, coming when I want them. Things just fall into place for you. It is what Abraham Hicks calls the art of allowing. It is the art of allowing. It's a really amazing journey that I've taken to get to that place where I know that that's reality. That's real. And I know how to practice that. I know how to do that. Does it mean I never ever get stuck in a moment where I go, oh, I gotta resist. But here's what does happen when I'm there. Now I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work. So I'm not caught in like days and weeks and months of fighting myself, of going, you're an idiot, or, just all of these terrible things that we do to ourselves and running around in circles saying, if I run faster, I'll make something happen. And of course it doesn't. Not anything good anyway. So this art of allowing thing is like really, this is the next level empowerment. The next level empowerment is I have this emotion and I can shift this into what I prefer so that the energy I'm experiencing and the life that I want, the quality, the feeling, the sensing of the life that I prefer to live is right now. And therefore, and this is law of attraction stuff, the things that are already here, because everything is already here, the things that resonate with that level of my resonance It's like it locks in, right? It just locks in and boom. You've had things like this happen. You've had things happen like this. You didn't know why. You're like, why did that? Like that just came out of the blue. That just happened. What? Oh my God. And then we go to this bull about, well, I guess I was a good girl today. And God gave me a gift. You know, I don't believe in that God. That one who goes, I will give you, or I'm going to withhold from you just because I know and you can't. This is so deep, y'all. It is so deep. We just cannot keep thinking that we don't have the power. We are the power. Oh, and I forgot to give you the rest of that image. Okay, so here we are. We're energy. We're like this twinkling, like bigger, limitless energy, right? And this is my spirit, and it's like a tree, and it reaches, and it's up here. It's like a big tree, and there's yours. You're next to me, and you've got this big tree, and this other person's next big tree, and they all overlap like Venn diagrams. They all overlap. Now our minds can't really put this together. Like we can't. Like what? Like we're all one. Yeah, it sounds nice. What? It's really the human mind is it has a problem with that, and that's okay. But you can get it emotionally. You can get it when you do some artwork. When you drop into a place where you allow what really does give you that power of intuition, inspiration, empathy, forgiveness of yourself. In other words, letting yourself off the hook of like, I've got to be perfect. We women have got it so bad. It's just so bad. And we've really got to understand. We've really got to understand that all that is around us is a system that is changeable. It's not concrete. This is really a challenge to understand during a fascist situation. I mean, this is not a small ask. However, as it gets darker before it gets lighter, because it will get very light. That's the purpose of all of this. Is we're being invited. The old system never worked, and we're being invited to create a new one. But the old one has to crash. Oh, forgot my sentence. I forgot where I was going. But what I'm saying is true. The old system, which did not work for everybody, not by a long freaking shot, never works for women. Women are consistently seen as negligible. I can't stand it when people go, we've got to stand up for this group and this group and this group and this group, and they don't mention women. Really annoys me. Really freaking annoys me. So I'm using my frustration, my annoyance, my anger to create a new path. To absolutely create a new path. So I just pulled this card out of the deck I have, the Heaven and Earth Tarot. This is the coolest deck ever. This thing is it's so symbology based. It's just so freaking beautiful. It's crazy. Let me show you. Like, just amazing. Absolutely stunning. So the card I just pulled out is the Princess of Swords. And swords are ideas. The princess she's just beginning to come into her power. She's just beginning to understand, wait a second, I've been given the sword of my power. What do I do now? Wait a minute. It's my emotions. It's my energy and my emotions. Wait a second. Wait a second. That means that it's feminine. That means that it's me. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm the one with power, right? Look at the picture. What I'm drawn to in this picture is that she's almost ethereal on the bottom here. It's like she's almost not even embodied yet, but the top part of her is. The top part of her is going, I get this idea. I get this. I'm understanding this. And she's going to have to bring it into her experience. Experience is what teaches us. We've got to be absolutely deliberate. We women got to be absolutely deliberate and uncompromising in saying that I will experience my power. And I'm not talking about power over. I'm not talking about power over other people. I mean, we women understand power in over other people when we are mothers, but even then, it's power with. You can't like think that you're going to just scream at your kids and they're going to listen to you and respect you. Like just screaming, that's all we do. Yeah, that's not it. That's not leadership. Women know real leadership. That's why the feminine's coming in now, babe. That's why the feminine's coming in. Um, so what do we have here? This is the Hierophant. Yes. So the Hierophant card just came out, just fell out, and the Hierophant is the one who wants to lay down some rules, but he's not just do what I say. He's also reaching, as you can see. Am I in the right? Yeah, he's reaching for that inspiration, for that intuition. He's looking for that way to ground that inspiration. So we've got both the feminine, the Princess of Swords, who goes, "Oh my God, the power is mine," and we've got the Hierophant, who is the masculine side that's going, "Hey, this is great. Let's ground it. Let's ground it." That's an incredible combination. Yes. How do we ground it? It depends how impassioned you feel about making your life be of the quality that you really want. For me, from a pretty early age, I was like, I want to be able to be me. I grew up in a family where my parents were musicians, and they would have house concerts and stuff, and there would be other musicians there, and there was more bowl per capita in those rooms than I can even tell you. I mean, what I saw, and it's not these weren't bad people, but what I'm saying is that I saw, because these were all people from also the realm of the university world. My parents taught at the University of Cincinnati's College Conservatory of Music. And when you get into intellectual stuff and you get into university stuff, it's a rarefied atmosphere. It's a beautiful thing to have an intellectual bent to your mind. It's really awesome to be able to experiment and find and delve into subjects and find truths. I mean, this is really important stuff. But there's also this sense of like I'm all that in a bag of chips. And so I can't show you that I'm human. I have to show you that I'm like really special, and you have to really admire me and all that. So these were people who were in my home all the time I was growing up, and I could feel it. I've always been really, really, really sensitive to energy and to reading other people's emotions. So if you're a good codependent, it's a really good, you know, point for you that you are very sensitive. So what you have to do now as a good codependent is let go of the codependent by setting some boundaries. Just saying, um, but still retain the sensitivity. But these people would come in, and I would watch them playing the games, and I would say, "This is just not who I want to be. I want to be real. I would like somebody to say something real, for God's sake." And then my mother got sick with cancer when I was 11. That went on till I was 21, and she passed away. And there was just nothing but game playing. Like, let's pretend we're too scared. Let's not talk about what's real. And talking about what's real is the most important freaking thing in life. Being real, letting that energy, letting that vibrational energy of your reality coming through, but within your wisdom, not just willy nilly. How I feel is what I'm going to make you deal with. I don't care. I'm not talking January 6th. Okay. We have to come up in our wisdom and care about each other. And we just have to make sure that we are part of that group of people we care about. We haven't done that. And especially we women haven't done that. And now we've got this whole thing about self-care, right? Like that card I drew earlier. We have this whole thing about self-care. When I hear self-care, I think about things like taking a damn bubble bath. How is that going to frickin' help me? I know, it's going to calm me down. No, it's not. No, right now, it's not. Okay, if it calms you down, take the damn bubble bath. All right, do it. But I mean, it has to literally calm you down. We women are the energy factories of this world. We are the ones who are so in touch with our emotions. And that means as we bring our attention to how we can shift our emotions by just 1%. Not all of them at the same time. Please let me be clear here. But 1% that we literally transform where we're standing vibrationally. So let's say we're standing vibrationally like this. Okay? And we shift by 1%, and suddenly we're a little closer in and we're going even faster because we're at a higher vibration. It's not like we switched from here to here and now we're going to pop back. It's we've transformed where we're standing vibrationally because of it's all about our emotions. Who better to learn how to deal with our emotions than women? Who better? Who better than women to be able to be the ones that go, oh my God, you mean, are you saying that I can stop being who I thought I was? Like, I don't have to be the worrier? I don't have to be the anxious one? Wait a minute, wait, are you saying I don't have to be thinking these thoughts of like, God, you're such an idiot. You're so stupid. Why did you do that? Or you can't do that. How could you possibly have that power? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can transform that. If that doesn't blow your freaking mind, I don't know what will. Honestly, and if you're sitting there going, you really, my hat is off to you because you are in touch with the part of yourself that's going, how? And that is the question. That is the question I want you to be looking for the answer to. Now, what I'm going to do, I need to take a drink of water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep putting this message out there. And I'm going to put together a webinar for people to come to. And it'll either be 60 minutes or 90 minutes or something like that to teach experientially how you can start to lean into this experiencing of your own true power. And anybody who wants to be a part of that, just either send an email to my email, and I'll tell you what it is in a second, and say, I want the workshop. It'll be free. It'll be free. Don't worry about it. I want the workshop. And the email is goodbye, good girl project at gmail.com. It's not goodbye girl. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's so crazy. That was like a favorite movie of mine that came out of like what, the 80s with Richard Dreyfuss and Marcia. I can't think of her name. It's really, really cute movie. But so people go, oh, goodbye girl. No, goodbye good girl. No more good girl. Okay, goodbye good girl project at gmail.com. So just send me an email. And once I have like 10 people, I'm going to do a workshop for you. And I won't spam the hell out of you, I promise. That's not my mode. I'm actually a little too busy to do that, even if I wanted to. All right, so one last thought for you, and my spirit just said to me, or just like nudged me to take another card from my oracle deck that I got that I really think is sweet. You want that one? Can't make this up. My high vibe thoughts, what does it say? My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. High vibe thoughts. The wonderful teacher, Mike Dooley, says thoughts become things. And I love Mike Dooley desperately. His work is insane. He's the sweetest man. He's a lovely human, and he's amazing. Go seek him out. He's fantastic. Um, but the thing is that if you don't have access to any kind of real shiftability of your thoughts, if you're somebody who, like I was, you're trapped in the emotion, and the emotion is so strong that you don't know what you're thinking, or you don't know that you even could shift a thought. Like if you're just in that mode where you go, that's nice, I can't shift my thoughts, I don't understand. Try it from this perspective, of the emotional perspective, and the emotional vibrational perspective. Now, if you would like, also, I have one other thing to offer you. I do have a free course that I can offer you, and I called it Do the Impossible, from emotional chains to empowered change. It's on a platform called The Great Discovery. So you will have to sign up, get a free thing to Great Discovery, but that's not bad because it gives you complete access to all other kinds of free stuff. Paid stuff too if you want to, but you don't have to. You'll never be charged. You'll never be nothing. It's just where my stuff is held. So if you're sending an email and you're going, I want the workshop, and in fact, you know what? I may do more than a workshop. There's something I really need to do, and it may be a whole weekend long thing. Yeah, I may do that. Just bring the whole thing to you at once. That'd be cool. Okay. Anyway, if you just send me an email, go, I want the workshop, in the topic, in the subject line, and then somewhere in the body, whatever, go, I want do the impossible, or I want to know how, or just let me know you want both. Okay. And then I'll have your email, and I will know to get in touch with you, and send you the information and all that cool stuff. Okay. Because swear to God, isn't that fun? I swear to you, I swear to me, I swear to the energy of all that is. This is not a purposeless thing that's happening in our world. It's not. It's happening because we are in a cycle. There is a never ending cycle, it seems. From the ancient times, it's been shown, and through Indian uh, cultures, which talk about cycles in terms of yugas, YUGA. And we go like this, up and down and up and down and up and down. And like the down part for us, the most recent one, I'm told that this is what I hear, was the Dark Ages. That lasted for hundreds of years. Can you imagine living your whole life in the freaking Dark Ages? Maybe we did. Ugh. Anyway, so we're coming up. We're coming up, and where we're coming up to is the place where we can go, oh my God, okay, wait, there's a different way. And the energy is backing us. It really, truly is. The energy of this uprising, our physical uprising, taken to the streets, emailing, speaking up on things like this, entertainment purposes only, we have to say, so the censors don't get upset. Um, there's more. There's just more. We have more. And it's not just a happy little idea or dream. Because have you ever seen this many people this activated? Most of us have sat at home going, oh, I'll vote. But what else can I do? Because there really was nothing else we could do. We weren't at a place in our development where we knew what else we could do. And we certainly didn't have the masses with us. So this is really both a terribly distressing, frightening, really frightening, and massively opportunity laden time. And I'm going to say one more thing about the Bible, about which I know, maybe a couple thimbles full. But there's some quote in there that says, that has to do with, when I stand in God, 10,000 can fall to the left of me and 10,000 can fall to the right, and I'm still here. That's about energy. That's all about energy. When you are that focused, that and this is a deliberate thing. This is not a I'm going to set it and forget it. This is a deliberate focus. It's like a little kid going, I know it's going to be great. They're just focused. I'm going to go to Disneyland. This is going to be the best. And for like a week or 2 weeks, they're like, this is great. And that energy, it makes a difference. It makes every difference. It makes the only difference that makes any difference. um, so I leave you with that thought. I'll be so happy to support you in rising. And as I start my mission, um, in a bigger way. I kind of love that it's starting on Easter, even though I don't know squat about the real origins of Easter and all of that stuff. And I'm not from that religious background, but I still love the symbolism. I'm all about symbolism. I love it. So I love that this is happening. Um, and I have absolute knowing of what faith means. Faith, according to Amachi, is having faith in one's self. And as we build the experiences of seeing who we are and walking into slightly different places, whether it's within ourselves, within our emotions, or taking the risk of speaking up and then going away from the experience and going, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what can I do better next time? We are on the path. We're on that path. I know that we've got this. And I also know that what we believe is what is. So strive to believe this with me. Strive to find a way to believe this within your own way. Your own way. Not my way, your way. And however I can help you, I do coach women leaders, I do 3-month programs and all that kind of stuff. Let me know how I can help you because we've got this. And I love you. Bye.